All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is when you watch this video, just make it apply. We're gonna start off with the with Otter Spirit. Let's talk about Otter Spirit. Otter Spirit has crystals. Make sure you check out their website. If you go into the description of the video, you will see the website for Otter Spirit. It is a hyperlink, so the only thing you have to do is go in the description, click that hyperlink, and it will take you to their website. Once you get to their website, you can order your crystals. Make sure that you go back to the description to get the discount code so that you can get it at a cheaper price. Right now, I have on my rose quartz, which is really good for bringing in love and self love. It's really good when you're going through a healing process, when you just went through a breakup, or whether you're trying to manifest love. It's good for both. Rose quartz is really amazing when it comes to the entire totality of love. I have on my green jade, and my green jade is really good for bringing in money, prosperity, and abundance. And so if you are um in the middle of switching jobs, if you're looking for employment, if you are starting a business, anything of trying to bring money in, green jade is really good for bringing in money. And then, especially if you're dealing with any type of contracts, that you are signing an offer letter and you need to speak up for yourself of your skills and your abilities in order to, get more money, or whether it's a contract you're signing for your business, then you really want to go with tiger eyes. Tiger eyes and green jade mixed together when you are looking for a job and going through the interview process is really good for bringing in a good outcome, that you'll be able to negotiate what it is that you want, whether it's getting more paid, whether it's talking about PTO, whether it's about benefits. You want to go in with as much confidence as possible. And Tiger Eyes is going to give you the confidence, while Green Jade is going to bring in the prosperity and abundance. Tiger Eyes is really good for negotiation. So make sure that you check out Otter Spirit. And remember, y'all, divination is confirmation. I should only be telling you things that your spiritual team should have already revealed to you. If they haven't revealed it to you, then by all means, don't listen to me, because this message may not be for you. You can take all of the other things from this message, but the reading itself may not be for you if spirit haven't revealed it to you. It's very rare for spirit to reveal something to you externally if spirit haven't worked with you on it already internally. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's some common rules that we can really think about in order to avoid being scammed, in order to avoid, advice that doesn't apply for us, the whole nine yards. And, that is one of the ways to really, think things through, is that have spirit revealed this to you already. Guys, I'm gonna tell you all the time, let's be careful out here in this game of love. Let's make sure that we are, listening to people, that we're not in a position of trying to force people to change and the whole nine yards. Now, what I want to go over before I get into the reading, it's still pretty early here. I think it's like maybe four something now. Spirit got me up early this morning at 2 a.m. and, was just telling me to, cleanse the house and stuff like that. And, so I got up, I burnt some frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood. That is a really good combination. That is my go-to combination. It's very sweet. And, the frankincense and myrrh together is good for cleansing as well as bringing things in. And so I love, that combination. I went to my altars, I blew tobacco smoke, I said my prayers, I, did a spiritual floor wash, cleansed myself with Florida water, did a couple of, return to senders, did some uncrossings. And so it was a lot of stuff that I got done this morning. And what I want to tell you about that is that, when spirit is urging you to get up and do something, let's make sure that we're being obedient and that we're doing it in the moment that Spirit is telling us to do it. Because you never know why Spirit is telling you that you need to get up and cleanse or get up and do a ritual. Spirit may not explain it to you fully in the moment, but whether you know why you're doing it or not, you need to get up and do it. It is very important to listen to the instructions of Spirit. You never know. Spirit could be getting you up at 2 o'clock saying that you need to completely cleanse your house because Spirit knows somebody is getting ready to send you witchcraft, negative juju, negative energy at 3 o'clock. And the cleansing is a powerful barrier. As long as your house is cleansed, when anything try to come in, it bounce it back. It will not be able to land. It will not be able to affect things in your life. It's when we don't cleanse, that's when that magic is able to come in and it can destroy some stuff. It can manipulate things in your life because that's what spell work is. It's manipulation. And so we want to make sure that when Spirit is telling us to get up and move and act, that we are doing those things in a timely manner, and we're not keep saying, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, oh, I'll do it the next day. One of the things that I have told you guys before is that you can't be lazy and spiritual. In my first book, The Emerging Butterfly, which you can get all of my books from the publisher, which is writersrepublic.com. The link to all three of my books is in the description. All you have to do is go in the description of the video, and it will have the website to my stand store so that you can sign up for a reading. It has Otter Spirit so you can purchase your crystals, and it has Writers Republic so that you can order any of my books: The Emerging Butterfly, Going Over a Spiritual Awakening, Connecting with the Ancestors, Teaching You How to Build Your Ancestor Altar, or The Journey of the Orishas, that you can learn about the Painted Keys and learn more about the Orishas. But the one that I want to talk about now is the emerging butterfly. In the emerging butterfly, one of the things I go over, I believe, is chapter 17, if I'm not mistaken. It talks about you can't be spiritual and lazy. There is so many things that goes into protecting yourself, protecting your children, manifesting things in your life. And if you're a lazy person, you're not going to be able to get this stuff done. When it comes to the work that we need to do, it's very rare for it to be a one and done. That is very rare. Majority of the time, you may have to do a spiritual bath 7 days in a row. Sometimes it is recommended that you do a floor wash 3 days in a row. Sometimes it's telling you that you need to light a candle, a 7-day candle, and all 7 days you need to go to that candle and you need to recite a specific Psalms. Maybe it's Psalms 3 with a white candle for spiritual support. Maybe it's Psalms 4 with a green candle for bringing in prosperity and abundance. Maybe it's Psalms 1 with a blue candle bringing in peace and blessings into your home. Maybe it's Psalms 2 with a blue candle confronting the storms that you are facing and telling the storm that you have no power over me and that God is on my side and God will protect me. And so there is work that must be done. And when we light these candles, especially a 7-day candle, you are going to that candle every single day that it is lit. And what I always tell my clients, in the morning, you are going to that candle and you are reciting the Psalms that I tell you to recite. And after that, you can say a personal prayer. And you're going to do the same thing at night before going to bed. You're going to go back to that candle and you're going to recite the Psalms, and then you will give a personal prayer. And so there is work that must be done. And if we are not doing the work, then that's when, a lot of things can happen. That's when we start seeing the negative side of things. Um, Guys, we can't keep being in a position of crying and moping over the bad things that is happening in our lives. On this spiritual path, we are not like the Christians that we have a devil that we can put everything on, which is another chapter in my book, in The Emerging Butterfly. We don't have a scapegoat. We can't say, oh, the devil did this and the devil did this and the devil did that. That was one of the things that I've always hated about Christianity, growing up in the church Pentecostal Apostolic, is that you learn more about the devil than what you learn about God. It seemed like every Sunday it was, oh, the devil did this and the devil did that. And the devil is talked about so much where it's like, okay, damn, do the devil have more power than God? Is the devil reigning over God? Is the devil God? Because it's like you talk about the devil so much that you give the devil all of the power, that the devil made me do it, the devil did this, and the devil brought this addiction, and the devil did that. But when you actually read the scriptures, it says that the devil doesn't know all things like God does. The devil cannot be in the same place at the same time like God can. The devil cannot, is not all seeing, is not all knowing. And so if the devil doesn't have these abilities that God have, why do we focus so much on the devil? Why do we give the devil so much power of saying that these are the things that you are doing and you're constantly destroying lives? It seems like if God has more power than the devil, we would talk about the devil less and we would talk more about God, the things that God will do, the things that God can move, the way that God can change things, the way that God will shape things. And so that is one of the things that I love about Ifa, is that there is no devil that you can put, all of your irresponsibility to, your failure to take accountability. I can't say, well, the reason why my mortgage is not paid is because the devil made me overspend. The devil made me cheat in my relationship. The devil made me, do all of these crazy things. On this spiritual path, there is no devil. And with there being no devil, it now makes you take accountability and responsibility. No, your mortgage wasn't paid because you spent all of that money in December on those damn kids with those Christmas presents. And now you're struggling this month because of the choices that you made. The reason why your relationship is failing is because you haven't learned how to control your sexual desires. And every time you see big titties or a big fat ass bubble butt, you feel that you got to put your dick in every single pussy you see. That is why your marriage is failing. That is why your relationships haven't worked. And so we have to learn on this path to take personal accountability and responsibility. We have no devil. We have no adversary that we can push all of this to and use him as a scapegoat. On this path, you must take accountability and responsibility. The reason why you're struggling financially is because you don't have money management. The reason why you are struggling on your job is because you don't have time management. The reason why you are struggling in your relationship is because you keep trying to control the other person. This path is all about accountability and responsibility. And now with that said, let me help my brother Elegwa out, because the way y'all clown that motherfucker is crazy as shit. Elegwa and Eshu is not the fucking devil. Both are two completely different deities. Some of you have learned that they are the same deity. And, regardless of what you learn, Elegwa and Eshu is both sides of the coin. When it comes to Elegwa, Elegwa is seen as the kid, the boy. Or Elegwa is the opposite side of the coin, that Elegwa is seen as an old man. And Elegwa colors is red and black. When it comes to Eshu, Eshu is the middle age version of Ilegwa. Both of them are messengers. And so, of course, reading the Painted Keys and reading the Odu Ifa, everyone has their own view of Ilegwa and Eshu. Some people like the concept that they are one and the same, that it's one individual, but it's two aspects of that individual. Some people believe that they are two completely different deities, but having the same dominion, because both Ilegwa and Eshu is over the roads. Both Ilegwa and Eshu is messengers. And when it comes to Ilegwa and Eshu, when people think that they are the same deity, then, we still see them as messengers. But when we see them as two completely individuals, we see them as different messengers. That Ilegwa is the messenger for Olodumare, which is God of the earth, while Eshu is the messenger for Olorun, which is God of the heavens. And so two could, even though they're both doing the same thing, that they're both divine messengers, they're two completely different deities. One of the things that Ilegwa and Eshu is known for is being a trickster. And because of that trickster aspect, Ilegwa has been seen as the devil. When we think about the trickster energy, in order to understand the full concept of Ilegwa's tricks, you must understand the Painted Keys. When you read the Painted Keys and you read the Odu Ifa, you start to realize what type of trickster Ilegwa and Eshu is. Ilegwa and Eshu is not a trickster where it is compared to the devil in the Bible, where he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Ilegwa and Eshu is the great teachers. They are here to teach you and to make you learn from your lessons, to release natural consequences. Now, Ilegwa and Eshu is not noted for karma. Karma belongs to Ochosi. Ochosi is the one that governs karma, which is a god of justice, and he is the one that dishes out karma, that you get punishment for the things that you do. When it comes to Ilegwa and Eshu, it's not about punishment, it is about natural consequence. And so Ilegwa will tell you while you are in the middle of the crossroad that you need to go right instead of left. If you refuse to take his guidance and you say, well, I'm looking at the right and I don't like what the right is presenting right now, so I'm going to go to the left, how did he trick you? Where do you see a punishment in that? There's no punishment. There's no trickery in that. If you chose to go the opposite way of what Ilegwa told you, then you're not getting a punishment, you're getting a natural consequence. He already instructed you that the right is the way to go and that this path has the most less resistance, but you chose to go left. And so now, because of that, what happens on that path is your natural consequence because you failed to listen to the Orisha. You failed to listen to the great teacher. And so I want to get you out of this concept that Ilegwa is the devil. There is no devil in this religion. It is all about you taking accountability and responsibility and doing the things that you need to do in order to fulfill your purpose on this earth. And so let's just lay that out there. There is no devil in this religion, and it is no scapegoat. And so the things that is happening in your life, it is because of the choices that you have made. When you read the Painted Keys, you start to see more of Ilegwa's and Eshu personalities and their characteristics. When it comes to Elegwa and Eshu, they are the tricksters because they know the loophole of everything. Not to go really deep into painted keys, that is going to take more time in this video, but one of the painted keys that comes to mind is when Elegwa went to Arumula and he needed something from Arumula, and Arumula said, "Look, I can't give this to you because you're not initiated and you're not a Babalao. And because you are not, initiated, then what you're asking me to do, I cannot do." And so not to go fully in the painted key, but Elegwa said, "Okay, I'm gonna come up with a loophole." And so he found a way to trick Arumula in order for Arumula to consecrate him in the religion. And one of the things that Elegwa did is that he purposely injured himself on Arumula property, and so it forced Arumula hand to start doing things in order to help Elegwa out. And so Elegwa is the one that we go to when we are stuck and we don't know what to do and we need to know where it is that we need to go. That is the power of Elegwa. And Elegwa knows every loophole. He is the one that will be able to get you things when other people say that you can't get this because you're not qualified, because you don't have the things that you need to have in order to walk through this door. Elegwa is the one that will always give you the shortcut. Elegwa is the one that knows every loophole. Elegwa is the deity of the door. He can open any door. Elegwa is the deity of the road, that he opens any road for you to travel down. Elegwa is the owner of the road. It's the owner of the crossroads. It's the owner of the intersections. It's the owner of anything that requires an opening. So all portals, which are mirrors and things like that, all of those are Elegwa. Elegwa is a very powerful deity that you cannot talk to any other Orisha until Elegwa is honored and acknowledged. You must honor and acknowledge Elegwa first before you are able to talk to any other Orisha. That is how powerful Elegwa is. Regardless of who your head Orisha is, regardless of the path you are walking, which is the reincarnation of an Orisha path. Regardless of that, you must honor and acknowledge Elegwa first. You cannot bypass Elegwa. Every painted key that people have tried to bypass Elegwa, there was natural consequences for it. Whether it was resistance, whether it was a door staying shut, or whether it was things completely being destroyed, Elegwa cannot be ignored and Elegwa cannot be overlooked. We must honor and acknowledge Elegwa first. Again, there is no devil in this religion. Elegwa is not the devil. Elegwa is the great teacher. He is here to teach you. It is the same with Eshu. They are messengers. They are giving you the messages from Olodumare and giving you the messages from Olorun. And now, of course, when it comes to Eshu, Eshu is an energy where, if you have Eshu in your home, you want to make sure that you're tending to Eshu every single day. He is an everyday deity. Unlike the other Orishas, when it comes to my father Chango, my head Orisha, and my mom Oya, when it comes to Yemaya, Obatala, Olakun, Oshun, Oko, Oduduwa, Babaluaye, when it comes to Oba, when it comes to any other those Orishas are not everyday Orishas. Those are the Orishas you go to that you can honor them on their day, and that you can honor them on their day, and you can petition them when you need something. And it's important for you to build those relationships with those orishas for in case you need them in the future for something. But your warriors, Elegwa, Eshu, Ogun, and Ochosi, as well as Orumula and Osun, because they are also connected with the warriors, that they should be at the front of the door. Those are deities that are everyday deities. Every day you should be working with your warriors. And so the way I do it is that in the morning I work with my ancestors, I work with Igun spirit guides and ancestors, and I work with Sarabanda, because all of those are spirits, all of those are Igun. When it comes to the evening, I work with my warriors. I work with Ilegwa, Ishu, Ogun, and Ochosi, Orumula, and Osun, giving them offerings, saying my prayers, and working with them accordingly to the things that they like. And so those are everyday things. Your ancestors is an everyday thing. Your warriors is an everyday thing. When it comes to the other orishas, they are not everyday energy unless you are going through something like a court issue, obatala, fatherhood, that you have some woman that is keeping you away from your kid and not letting you see your kid, and go to Chango. Chango will work that out for you. Chango is the Orisha of fatherhood. It's the opposite way. If you have, a guy that is trying to keep you away from your kid and the whole 9 yards, then by all means, women, go to Yemaya. Yemaya is the great mother. And so, you go to the Orishas based on what it is you need. You need love, go to Oshun. You need prosperity and abundance. There's a couple of Orishas you can go to. You can go to Ogun, you can go to Oshun, you can go to Chango, you can go to Olakun, you can go to Aj, you can go to Eshu. So there's a lot of Orishas you can go to for prosperity and abundance. And so, that's just the pre-message before we, get into this reading. One of the things that I wanted to do different this reading is that I started with Ifa divination, doing the cowrie shells, and whenever we do the cowrie shells, it's always with Elegwa. When it comes to every other Orisha, in order to do the cowrie shells, it have to be a sacrifice, and normally it is a four-legged animal. And so normally when we are doing the cowrie shells is always with Elegwa. The cowrie shells is always tossed twice. You toss it the first time with 16 cowrie shells, and it gives you an Odu. You toss it again, and it gives you the second Odu. I am not doing a full reading. I am only doing the cowrie shell once. Number one, because this is a general reading. This is not a specific reading for a specific person that I need to cast the shells twice. I am only casting the shells once in order to get a pre-message and an understanding of that's going to influence the tarot cards, so that I'm getting both sides. I'm getting what I need from the deities of getting a message, and I'm getting what I need from Igun, spirit guides, and ancestors from the tarot cards. And so, I know, some of the, Babalaos is going to go crazy. Why are you doing Ifa divination, on your video? Because I can, because I can. That's the short answer, because I can. And again, I'm not doing it fully where I'm casting both of the shells. I only want to get a Odu that is going to govern the reading. This is just, this is my first time trying it out. Well, not my first time casting the cowrie shells. This is my first time trying it out on a video, and seeking it and syncing it with a general message. And so we're going to see, how this thing is going to go and how it's going to blend in with the Agun divination. And so starting off with the Orisha divination, the first toss was 9 open cowrie shells and 7 closed. This Odu talks about movement is present, but not without resistance. So there is movement that is being presented in your life, but this movement is not without resistance. This is an Odu of transition, testing, and something being partially open, not fully open. It talks about something coming, but it is not fully settled yet. It talks about that it's open enough for you to see the opportunity, but not to rush through it, which means that whatever this is that the cards is going to talk about is open enough for you to see it, but it's not meant for you to rush through this yet, which means this is someone that is receiving visions, dreams, synchronicities, that you are getting what's getting ready to happen, but it's saying that it's not happening right now in this moment. This is an Odu of standing between the old and the new. And so this is someone that hasn't fully let go of the past, but the future is calling. And so this is for someone that is still holding on to the past. You haven't fully let go of the past. This talks about awareness, but at the same time, hesitation. And so this is someone that, again, that is being aware, which means you are getting the downloads, you are getting the dreams, you are getting the synchronicities, but there's still a holding back. You're still being hesitant in some type of way. The 9 shells that are open, it talks about spirit is responding. So it's letting you know that the ancestors and the deities are with you and they are responding to the things that you are praying. The 7 clothes, it talks about something being blocked for your protection. And so what you need to watch out for when it comes to this Odu, you need to watch out for being impatient, for overthinking, trying to control the outcome, and returning to old habits or old people out of comfort. This is an Odu of not saying to not embrace a reconciliation. This is saying that you could be going back to an old flame, just because you're hurt and you're using that person to fuck your brains out, and knowing that this person is not meant for you to be on your path. That you could be going back to old habits where maybe, the things that you was challenged with in the past was low self-esteem, and you conquered that. But now, because of what's happening, you went back to that old attachment, and once again, you're going through low self-esteem issues. This is warning about pushing too hard can cause unnecessary setbacks. And so this is an energy where it's like, if you are keep trying to get somebody attention, if you keep trying to chase them, if you keep trying to control the outcome, and you're trying to personally force them to learn the lesson, it is saying the only thing all of that pushing is doing is that it's causing unnecessary setbacks. And it talks about that the interest and the attraction is there, that is present in this Odu, but timing and emotional readiness is being adjusted. That is the thing that is being adjusted now, that it's about divine timing and preparing this person for emotional readiness. This Odu is 9 open shells and 7 closed. I'm not going too deep in the Odu reading, especially with some of the people that is listening to this. You're not part of the religion. When I do Ifa divination for clients, I go deep into it. I tell you the name of the Odu. I tell you the orishas that governs this Odu. It goes into more details, but right now it's just giving you the important clips of what this Odu is about. And so now, since we have the Odu out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the tarot cards now to see what Igun, spirit guides, and ancestors have to say. So thank you, Igun. Thank you, Igun, spirit guides and ancestors. Thank you, Sarah Banda. Thank you, Arisha. Thank you, Yeshua. Uh, Thank you, Anubis. Thank you, Oladumare. Thank you, Olaroon. Thank you, Olafi. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Let's see, what is in the card, Spirit? What is it that you want to reveal to your people? Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ashe, 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 Asheo. All right, let's see what's in the cards. You know, shout out to, my brother in heaven. Yesterday, it was it was a little hard day for me. You guys know, the ones that's been following me for a while, that I'm from a family of 16. You know, all of us is from the same mother and same father, and I have well, technically four, because my twin brother is older than me. I have four siblings that's older than me. My oldest brother Terrell, Leotis is under him. Then it's my sister Vakita, and then it's my brother Gerard, and then it's me Rashad, and everyone else flows under me. And my brother Leotis, he passed away um, on January the 16th, 2022, and it was hard. It was very hard for me. It's still hard for me, to this day. And me and Elijah grabbed some balloons yesterday, and did a balloon release in order to, just celebrate him, celebrate his energy, celebrate his spirit. And it's difficult. My heart goes out to anyone that is facing a loss. When it comes to me, when it comes to death, is that you have to accept that at the end of the day we all have to die. Everyone is going to pass away at some time, and when people have lived their full life and they die at a good old age, that normally never affects me. I can care less. I will be at the funeral celebrating instead of, mourning and crying, because at the end of the day we know that this process have to happen. Death is inevitable. At the end of the day, we're all going to pass away. We're all going to get reincarnated. But it is, a little harder, when it's someone that's dying at a younger age. And my brother, he passed away at uh, what, it was 37 or 38. It was one or the other. He passed away at a young age, and man, that really affected me. Um, and so, I remember when I turned his age, when he passed away, I had so much anxiety, going into panic attacks. My blood pressure and everything was high, that they had to put me on medication because he died from heart complications. And so, we realized at that moment that, heart problems run through the family. And so, I was keep going to the doctor, telling them to check my heart. They had to bring me home with a portable EKG in order to check my heart, because I was keep telling them it was something wrong with my heart, and they're monitoring it for weeks. And they like, dude, it's nothing wrong with your heart. You're just going through a lot of anxiety because this is how your brother passed. And so it was a lot getting through that year. And man, so my heart goes out to anyone that is dealing with any type of loss. And it was just really hard for us because he was the first person, so far the first and only person that has passed away in our family, in the immediate family, just the brothers and sisters. My mom and dad is still alive. All the rest of my brothers and sisters is still alive. And so it took a lot. It took a lot on my parents as well. that this was the first kid that they had to bury, and it still affect them to this day. It it's not supposed to be that way, that the parent is supposed to bury the kid. It's the opposite way around. It's the kids that's supposed to be burying the parents. And so it was hard, so I just kind of wanted to put that out there, just giving honor and acknowledgement to my brother Leotis. Leotis, I love you. Continue watching over me, continue blessing me and keeping me safe, and so, Ashe, we'll keep it at that. But I love my brother. I miss my brother. He was the comedian in the family. And, if you met him, he kept everybody laughing. So I really miss my brother. And so yesterday was a day, yesterday was a day, but we did do a lot to celebrate him. All right, what's in the cards? What is in the cards? Thank you, Spirit. What is in the cards? Thank you, Spirit. What is in the cards, Spirit? What is it that you want to convey? What is it that you want to convey? What is it that you want to convey, Spirit? What is it you want to convey, Spirit? The devil. What is it that you want to convey, Spirit? New beginning. What is it that you want to convey, Spirit? The Queen of Wands. It's going to communicate. What is it that you want to convey, Spirit? What is it that you want to convey, Spirit? All right, the Eight of Swords. We got some trapped, stuck energy. That's exactly what the Odu was talking about. We have the Magician. All right, we have the Empress and the Five of Wands. We have the Empress and the Five of Wands here. And we have all the cards on the floor. Reverse. I don't want to put them reverse. All right, what is the clarifier? What is the clarifier, Spirit? We have, I guess we have the Five of Swords and the Ten of Wands. We have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. All right, let's get into this energy. I'm trying to be as positive and uplifting as I can be. Like I said, yesterday was a hard day. You gotta let that energy out. I'm sorry, y'all. I shouldn't have even talked about my brother at the beginning. I should have talked about it at the end, because now just, talking about him, it kind of, I'm like, don't cry, don't cry. I'm like, don't cry. not on camera. We'll do it later. But I miss my brother. I miss my brother so much. I love my brother. That was my boy. All right, but he is still with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I want to talk about too when it comes to spirits. When it comes to spirits, and when they are around you or when they are connected to you, you will start to feel symptoms of how that person died when you are connected to Igun energy. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that every time I feel my brother's present, I feel like it's a blockage in my heart. Like I feel like my heart is just blocked, and I'm like, what is wrong with my heart? I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Am I about to go into a heart attack? I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I have learned that every single time that my brother is around, that I always feel it in my heart. I always feel as if my heart is blocked. And it's the same way with my grandmother. My grandmother, my grandmother passed away eating fish, and she choked on one of the bones in the fish. And my grandmother was and this is the grandmother on my dad's side, which my dad's side is the side that is filled with spiritual gifts, that is filled with anointings. I mean, my dad has such a powerful gift of insight that he would always know things that he should have never had no fucking business knowing. And we used to hate that as kids. He would always know what we were getting ready to do before we did it. And he would always call us out on it. And we would be like, how the fuck do he know that? Like, how do he know what we're getting ready to do? And over time, I learned, I'm like, my dad has the gift of insight. He has the gift of insight that he is able to see things and know things before they happen. And it's like, how do you get a pre-whooping? You know what I'm saying? How you get a pre-whooping? How you get a whooping before you actually do the thing, and then when you do it, now you get the post-whooping. It's like, what the fuck? It's like some spiritual gifts should not be given to certain people. Because I'm like, how the hell we get pre-whoopings? It's like, but everything that he would say was on point. It was never exaggerated. It was never a lie. This man was able to know. And I'm like, damn, I'm always careful around my dad because I never know what spirit is revealing to him. I never know what spirit is revealing to this motherfucker because he can see, and it was the same with my grandmother. My grandmother, she knew that she was getting ready to die, and she spoke about it before she died. That she told everyone that, hey, I'm gonna get ready to die in the next couple of days. And so she knew it. And and although I didn't spend as much time with my grandmother because I was so young, and I don't even remember majority of the interactions, that I had with grandma because I was so young. That is the one thing that always stuck with me, is that she knew that she was going to die before she passed away, and she communicated that with everyone. And so, whenever my grandmother is around me, I always feel like there's some in my throat, like I'm coughing and everything else to try to get this out of my throat. And so I have learned over the years now, by working with Igun spirit guide and ancestors, that when the spirits come to you, especially the closer they are to you, you start experiencing symptoms of how they died. And so, when you start, experiencing symptoms like, maybe your skin or something is on fire, or your skin is starting to be hot, maybe it was fire how that person died. Maybe it was a house fire. Maybe it was a car accident that it was associated with fire. If your legs is always, being affected when certain spirits come around, maybe it was something that was related to their legs. It could have been a blood clot in their leg or something like that. And so, kind of keep that in mind, that as you work with spirits, and especially the closer you get to the spirits, you will start to feel how they passed away. And for some people, you can smell certain things, you can see certain things, you experience certain things. And so, that's another thing that I just wanted to put out there with working with the dead. You're not crazy, you are, it's just letting you know you're getting closer and closer to that spirit. And that, the closer you are, the more you start to experience those symptoms. The overall energy is the temperance card, which we did see in the Odu. And the temperance is all about divine timing. The temperance is saying, the temperance is saying, let it go and let God do what God is going to do. Let God, bring this thing in divine timing. This is not something that we have to rush, and we may say that, look, Lord, I want this to be done right now, but do we not realize that in the now, there are things that we can be doing? There are things that we can be doing, like, maybe we can be going to school and getting more education. Maybe we can start a business. Maybe we can heal and let go of all of the things that have happened in previous relationships. There are things that we can do in the time of separation, in the time that we feel lonely, that we can, enhance ourselves, we can better ourselves, that you're not focusing all your energy on what you don't have, and you focus your energy now on alignment and manifesting the things that you desire. And so the temperance here is telling you that you need to be patient, that everything is coming in divine timing. The temperance is also a card of letting you know that work is being done. When you look at the angel in the card, the angel is holding two cups, and you can tell that the water is pouring back and forth in that cup. It's the same symbolism that you see in the Two of Pentacles, which is the shifting of energy. And so both these cards is telling you that, baby, I'm moving. I'm doing the things that I need to do in the background, but I need you to wait until I'm done with my work. Once I'm done with my stuff, things will manifest. And so it's letting you know that you need to be patient and that the work is being done. When you look at the cups, it is water that is going back and forth, which means there is a water element at play. And that water element that is at play is the emotions. And you've seen that in the Odu, where the Odu said that the attraction and the interest is there. But now we're just waiting on divine timing, and we're waiting on that emotional stability, emotional availability. And so God is working with this person on the emotional level, that they are going to be ready to receive what it is that is getting ready to happen on an emotional level. And you see everything that the Odu brought up in both the overall energy as well as his clarifier, because the clarifier is the devil. And yes, the devil can talk about addictions, but the devil also talks about obsession. This is someone that is obsessed with you. This is someone that is chained and bound to you. Because when you look at the devil card is bound, and you are bound in chains in here. Both these people are tied to the devil. And it's not saying the devil as in Lucifer, that this is something negative. This is, you can tell that this is a very strong sexual connection between the two people that this reading is talking about. There's not a big difference. There's not that big of a difference between the devil card and the lover card. Is when you look at the devil card, the devil is the exact same two people, but they are chained, and the chain is synced with the devil in the middle. Whereas the lover's card, they are free and they are no longer bound and they're no longer in chains, and they're governed by the angel that is in the middle. And so when it comes to the lovers, that's why the lover talks about divine love, because there's no bondage there. There is no chains that is being present. And so that love is able to grow freely and is able to grow naturally. Whereas the devil, this is more of a connection that is being rooted in obsession, sexual energy. And so that is why in the Odu, it is saying, well, look, the interest is there, the sexual energy is there, but what's very important is the emotional aspect as well. If we only have sex with no emotions, then is it really a connection that can stand the test of time? Because at the end of the day, anybody can give us sex, anybody can give us pussy and dick. And so, if that is the only thing that a relationship is rooted in, it can't be a successful relationship that can stand the test of time. And so, although sexual energy cannot be downplayed because that is extremely important in a connection, it cannot be the only thing in existence in a connection, but it must be present. Because if you are not sexually attracted to the person you are with, then how the fuck is that going to work out? How is this going to stand the test of time? But it's just the opposite as well. If it's built on sex and sex alone, and it's only driven by sexual passion and desires can die out. And if it's not rooted in anything else, it will not be able to stand the test of time. And so the overall energy is definitely very important. It's letting you know that divine timing is in play. This is an energy where it's saying that this is not a denial. This is not punishment. This is not saying that I'm not going to give you the desires of your heart, as the word states. Because the word states that I will give you the desires of your heart and I will satisfy them with good things. And so this is not a denial of the scriptures. This is a fulfillment of it. That I will give you the desires of your heart and I will satisfy those things with good things. But at the same time, I'm going to make sure that it's pressed down, shaken together, and running over, that this can stand the test of time. Because there's no point of giving you something if it's only going to last for a moment, because you will be right back asking for the same thing. And so the temperance card is saying you must be patient with this process, because the work that is being done in the background is very critical for the growth and the healthy state of this relationship that is getting ready to manifest and unfold. And so the vision is there. You know what is getting ready to happen, but at the end of the day, it's still telling you to take a seat and be patient, because more work needs to be done. And so that is the energy of the overall energy. When we are trying to rush things, and we are saying, Spirit, just give me what it is that I'm asking for and just give it to me now. Imagine that Spirit gives you this connection in the condition that is in right now. Imagine if Spirit gives you this connection in the current condition. You will be having someone that will be fucking your brains out left and right, with the devil card being here, because there's an attraction and there is an obsession. But if the cups that the angel is holding in the temperance card, if that mixture is not fulfilled, if that shift is not fulfilled, and you only get this person at a current state, this is somebody that will not only be fucking your brains out, but they'll be fucking everybody else as well, because there's no emotional attachment that roots them in the connection, that anchors them in the connection. It is only driven by sex. And so that is why the temperance card is saying, pause, wait a minute, hold up, let's add other stuff to this mixture in order for this to be strong, in order for this to be rooted, and in order for this to have a solid foundation, that when you get this, the tower card don't have to come back in later and destroy all of this, because the foundation was built on something faulty. And so the overall energy is saying, be patient. The work that is being done in the background is for your highest good. It is benefiting you in a way that you don't quite see yet. But when you get it, you're going to realize what Spirit was doing the entire time and why Spirit was saying that it is critical for you in this moment to be patient. Trying to rush this process and get what it is that you want now, it will be to your demise. And so be patient and allow Spirit to finish this work so that once you receive this, this will be something that you will be pleased with in the moment as well as when the years goes by. So we need to be patient and allow the shifting of this energy and the cleansings of this person emotion and the cleansings of their heart, which is represented in the cups going back and forward. We must allow this cleansing to take place in order for this thing to be successful. We now have in the crossing energy, we start with the Fool card, and the Fool card is all about a new beginning. But when did this new beginning come about? This new beginning only came once the angel in the Temperance card finished the cleanse. Once this cleansing is done, that this person is going to be able to see you for who you are, understand your worth, and be able to see beyond the obsession, being able to see beyond the good sex. That is when a new beginning is going to emerge. And so the overall the crossing energy is telling you that a new beginning is coming. There is a new start to something in this connection. And this new start is this obsession that this person had for you, which talks about a connection coming together. And so this beginning that is getting ready to start, the clarifier is saying that it is the Queen of Wands with the Ace of Swords. This is a divine feminine. This is a divine feminine that is getting ready to get clarity. This is a divine feminine that is getting ready to get an understanding of something, that is getting a download. When we look at aces, aces are gifts from the universe. And so it is saying that the Queen of Wands is getting ready to receive a major download. And this download is a gift from the universe. The Queen of Wands is someone that's very beautiful. The Queen of Wands is someone that's very seductive. The Queen of Wands is someone that is very confident, someone that is in their energy, someone that knows the beauty that they possess. They know the charm that they have over people. Now, flip the energies as you see fit. If you are saying, this is the King of Wands, then flip it as you need to see fit, because at the end of the day, whenever an archetype is out, it can be the opposite side of the coin. And so right now it's saying that there is, in order for this new beginning to come about, the Queen of Wands must receive the Ace of Swords first. There is a message, there is an important download that the Queen of Wands must receive in order for this new beginning to start. We now have in the crowning energy, which is the current energy, we have I don't know why Spirit is telling me this. Normally I don't know why I only do this with Pisces. I don't know. Don't be mad at the messenger. I only follow what Spirit is telling me. I can care less about the zodiac signs in these cards. Normally I never go over the zodiac signs in the cards. But for whatever reason, Spirit is telling me that the Queen of Wands is Pisces energy. It is 20 degrees Pisces as well as Aries. But for whatever reason, Spirit is really harping on this Pisces energy. And so the person that is coming in could have Pisces somewhere in their chart. With the Temperance card in the overall energy, representing the emotions. The emotions is normally the moon sign. And so this person's moon sign could be a Pisces. Now, this could be someone with a sun of Pisces or a rising of Pisces or anywhere in their placement that is Pisces. I don't know why Pisces is so important in this reading. I don't, but for whatever reason, Spirit is telling me to highlight that for whatever reason. And so, this is a Pisces in some form or fashion. It doesn't necessarily have to be their sun, especially with the Temperance card representing emotions, because Temperance is fire and water. But with the Temperance card, with the water going back and forward, this could definitely be the moon sign, because the moon sign, it represents the emotions. And so, and even when we go back to the Temperance card is water and fire. And when you look at the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is water and fire as well. The Queen of Wands is Pisces and Aries. And so water and fire could be very important in some type of way in this connection. Maybe their spirit is separating, allowing you to know this reading is for you by saying, like, look, this person is, when you see this person, you see that mix of water and fire in them, whether it is Pisces and Aries, or whether it's like a Pisces and Sagittarius, that, this is, someone that possesses, these two energies. This is the most, this is very potent in their energy, that, you recognize their fire and their water. I mean, it's a crazy combination, that can be a crazy combination because, once again, that goes back to the devil, because the devil, it rules passion and obsession and, things like that. And when you look at water and fire, both water and fire is emotional. I mean, earth is grounding. Wind is logic, is intelligence, it's the mind. Whereas earth, it grounds you, it keeps you stable. And for whatever reason, that's not showing up in this person's energy. This could be the thing that they lack. That this is someone that lacks stability, and that they can sometimes lack intelligence, the sharpness. And that is why the Ace of Swords is coming in, is to give them the wisdom. Now, water and fire being represented as this person energy, no offense, because, whether it's, you are talking about the other person, because whoever it is talking about the ace, is talking about the Queen of Wands. This could be a crazy motherfucker, when you are ruled by passion on both sides, because both fire is passion and water is emotions. And, this could be someone that when they are at their low, they go into tantrums. With there being no wind to calm your mind down and bring logic into the situation, and with there being no earth in order to ground you, this could be someone that can go into tantrums. That when they don't get their way, they can blow up and go into major tantrums, breaking things around the house, saying things that hit below the belt, because both those are ruled by emotions, both fire and water. Water is being deep in emotions. That, this could be someone that could, cry a lot, that tries to, use emotional manipulative games when it comes to water, as well as being extremely irritated, agitated, frustrated, and mad at the world, and going from 0 to 1,000 just like that. if both the water and fire is unbalanced at the same time, this is a crazy motherfucker. This is a crazy motherfucker. This is someone that will destroy your fucking home, that is always calling the cops and the police on you. This is someone that when they get into their moods, they can definitely be your worst enemy. And so thank God the Ace of Swords is here that bring logic into the situation, because logic is what calms down, that can calm down the fire. No, yeah, wind is air, and air can fuel a fire. But if you take that air away and you start removing the air from it, it actually removes the fire. And so, this could, but mainly the Ace of Swords is bringing in logic to this person. This is someone that needs an important download. This could be someone that doesn't know the error of their ways, focusing on these two elements alone. Because these two elements alone without the other elements is a dangerous ass fucking combination. This is a crazy ass bitch or a crazy ass nigga that's finna stalk the shit out of you and everything else, and that probably can lay some hands on you. Because I don't like that mixture. I personally don't like the mixture of water and fire, because they are both rooted in emotions. Yet both of them are rooted in emotion. Let it be water and, let it be water and earth. Let it be fire and wind. You know what I'm saying? But both on the emotional side, both water and fire, oh, that's a crazy motherfucker. That is somebody that when they say on site, baby, it's on site. It's on today. It's on tomorrow. It's on the next year. Especially if this is a breakup, this is someone that will do something extreme in order to break up with somebody that you have destroyed the bridge. You consumed the water under the bridge, where it's like, baby, you did so much damage that if you ever wanted to go back, there is no bridge to cross. If you wanted to even get in the water and swim across, there is no fucking water to swim across because the fire consumed it all. Like, this is where you created such a powerful dent that is damn near impossible for you to get back. Like, this is someone that left in such a crazy and extreme way that this is someone that turned the fuck up and all the way up. That is crazy. That's the energy. That's crazy energy. That is some crazy motherfucking energy. And with the devil card being here, this is someone that can do all of this crazy shit and still say, but I love that person. Baby, may that love never find me. May that love never find me. I want you to love me. Don't be obsessed with me. Okay? I want you to cherish me, but don't be addicted to me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we manifest these things and we pray for somebody to be obsessed and addicted. And then when that nigga is stalking you, now all of a sudden we like, well, why is they doing that? Well, that's what you asked for. Don't be addicted to me. Don't be obsessed with me. Love me in a normal way. Love me with some earth energy present and some wind energy present. I don't need a motherfucker that can turn up and then end up being my worst enemy. Man, that was a lot from that category. Just going, and that was just going off of the elements. Spirit is the one that was saying bring the elements into it. But the Fool card is a new beginning. A new beginning is getting ready to start for the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands could be someone in this scenario of adding all of this stuff together. This is someone that can be extremely hard-headed. That, this is someone that was always, it's my way or the highway. and doesn't have a willingness to compromise. And so this is definitely someone that needs to learn a lesson, and the Ace of Swords is bringing that lesson to that person. You have in the crowning position now, we have the Seven of Swords, which is someone being trapped. They're in their mind. And the Seven of Swords is all about imprisonment. But you have the clarifier as the magician. This could be someone that, magic influenced this connection. The magician can represent magic. The magician can represent alchemy. People playing around with the elements. There could be some magic at play here. There could be some magic at play here that could have ended a relationship that imprisoned and trapped someone. And this imprisonment and entrapment, especially with the magician being here, the person that could have, did this magic could have enhanced this person's water element so much and fire element so much that this person wasn't grounded in earth, nor was they having any logic, which means that this is someone that could have been just blowing up about stuff out of the blue. Out of the blue, they're getting angry with you because you left the toilet seat up. They're nagging at you because you did this. They're arguing with you because you did that. And it's saying that this is magic at play here. This is magic that brought this destruction. So there's an imprisonment here. This is someone that is imprisoned, and they're imprisoned with magic, with the clarifier being the magician. This is someone that is, playing around with magic. There is magic here. There's magic at play here. And this could have made a bitch go extremely crazy. Man. You have the outcome position. You have the Empress, and the Empress is a divine feminine, and you have it paired with the five of wands, which is all about fights, competition. It can talk about conflicts as well. And then you also have the five of swords, which represents the same thing, fights and conflicts. And you have the 10 of wands with it as well, which the 10 of wands can talks about struggle and being overburdened, but it can also talk about taking responsibility. Let me clarify this to see if this outcome is talking about this person is going to continue fighting, or is this person going to compete in order to try to get this love. What is the clarifier, spirit, for the outcome? Okay, yeah, this is going to be someone that's going to fight for this, because you have the Queen of Wands again in the other deck now. You have the King of Cups. Once again, there's another element here of fire and water. There's another element of fire and water here. I don't know. Spirit, come on now. What the fuck are you trying to tell me? Let me convey it. You know, because this one of you could be a fire sign and the other could be a water sign. There's a lot of positions. A lot of these positions is keep highlighting fire and water. Fire and water is very important. You have the Queen of Wands with the King of Cups, and both of these are Pisces. Both the King of Cups can be Pisces, and it can be the other water elements as well, that it could represent, Scorpio, and it can represent Cancer, and a small degree it can represent Aquarius, because Aquarius is always trying to sneak up in water. Because Aquarius is one of those things where it's just, Aquarius is is crazy. Aquarius is in my family. It's a wind sign. But listening to the name with that aqua in there, people sometimes assume that Aquarius is water. And then it doesn't help that Aquarius is the water barrier. And so a lot of people think that Aquarius is water, and Aquarius is not water. Aquarius is an air sign. It is in my family because I am a Gemini. But even though Aquarius is an air sign, Aquarius do have some traits of water signs. And that is why when it comes to the King of Cups, a small degree does represent Aquarius. But fire and water is very important here. Very important here. I can't tell you at this moment why, because both the Queen of Wands represents water and fire, and the King of Cups represents fire and water. And so fire and water is very important in this connection. But in this clarifier, you have the Queen of Wands and you have the King of Cups. So these are the two people in the relationship. One could be a fire sign, the other could be a water sign, or both could be water, or both could be fire. And it's saying you have the Six of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles, where it's saying that good news is going to come in, and this is going to lead to family life with the Ten of Pentacles. I love the Ten of Pentacles better in a love read compared to the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups is emotional, where the Ten of Pentacles is the physical, is actually family life, getting together, hanging out, cuddling, kissing, building something strong and steady and stable. It's earth energy, it's earthy, it's grounded, it's anchored. And so I love the Ten of Pentacles in a love reading way more than what I love the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is emotional. Emotions are subjective, but it talks about a divine union, but it's still emotions. Emotions are very subjective. It can be one emotion one way one day and then a different emotion the next day. But there's a strong element here of water and fire. But now to get back to the outcome position, now since it's clarified with another deck, the Empress here is saying that the Empress is going to come in fighting. That is the Five of Wands. They're going to come in, they're going to fight and compete. And the Empress is being seen as the Queen of Wands. And so, I know, ladies, sometimes, we don't want to hear it, and, how would I say this? How would I say it? Because I don't want to offend anybody. I will just say based on my personal thing, based on, the readings that I have done for people, it is always easier from the readings that I have done. I'm not saying that this is true, but from the readings that I have done, it is true. For the readings that I have done, it is always easier for a male to take accountability and to see their wrong versus a female seeing their wrong and them taking accountability. When I have done readings, I have talked to a lot of guys, and I'm like, the cards is telling you that you did some wrong, you had abandonment issues, you were crazy as fuck, and all of this other stuff. And normally the guys will open up and they like, yep, you caught me. I'm a cheating ass motherfucker. I'm this and that. And, they would be extremely honest, and it allows the conversation to go further, and it allows me to help them more. But, sometimes with my female clients, it is a avoiding of accountability where, you tell them something, it's like, oh, so you telling me I'm in the wrong when a motherfucker hit me? And it's like, okay, I'm not saying that, but the cards is not saying that abuse and stuff was in play. And so I'm only going to focus on what I'm seeing. And I'm like, what I'm seeing is saying that you're in the wrong. And, sometimes I get excuse after excuse after excuse. It kind of, remind me of, one of the comments I seen that on my last video. I said, when you got two people coming together, that if you have a guy that is saying I'm only looking to fuck, and then you have a female that is coming in saying, well, I want a relationship. I was like, the person that is looking for the relationship, because I don't even think I put gender in there. I said the person that's looking for the relationship, they are the ones that need to walk away. Why did I say that, they need to walk away? Because at the end of the day, if the person that is only looking to fuck, if you agree to fuck, then you are giving them what they want, versus your what you want can never be getting from them. You can never get that from them, because they are saying that I'm only looking to fuck. And so no matter what, it's a no on this side. On this side, there's a possibility, because it depends on if you're going to, let this person dive in or not. And say, you know what, I'm just gonna let you fuck tonight and then we done, or I'm gonna let you fuck and you're gonna be my friends with benefits until I find somebody else. And so I was like, common sense is the person that is most likely to get hurt is the person that's looking for a relationship. And so I was saying, walk away. And, because this person is not going to get hurt because they're only looking for a fuck. So they're ready for the rejection, for you to say, no, I want something more than sex. And, somebody left a comment and they were like, well, the responsibility is on the other person as well. They need to walk away and stuff like that. That's normally how my sessions goes sometimes with females. And I'm not saying with all females. Sometimes instead of taking accountability and saying, you know what, yes, I'm going to walk away because I'm not going to get hurt. It's like, it's always an excuse or an avoidance to dealing with the problem. And it's like, just walk away. You're looking for a relationship. Why are we entertaining this? Why do we got to battle? Why do we got to go back and forth? Just walk the fuck away. You're looking for something more stable. You're looking for something more secure. Just walk the fuck away. It kind of, remind me of this TikTok that I seen with my nephew was showing me, one of the people that he watched on TikTok, and this guy goes on some app just trolling people, and he would get on and he would try to be this biggest jackass, that when these women come on, he would tell the woman, he like, oh, you look kind of good or whatever, but you're not my type. And, he was like, but you're not my type, go ahead and exit the call because I want to get to the next person. And instead of exiting the call, the woman would stay there and fight and argue and be like, you don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to exit this call. And she would stay there and argue and fight with him, not realizing the mindset of men. That was the trap. He was purposely being a jackass to you, because sometimes when women get that, they become attracted to that. They become glued to that. Instead of saying, wait a minute, this guy just told me he's not attracted to me. Click. Like if that was me in the situation and somebody is saying, you're not my type, I'm not going to argue and fight with you. All right, I hope you find what you need. Click, bye. And so, and I hope I'm saying this in a good way, that it doesn't offend people, because my goal is not to offend anyone. My goal is not to say that this is all women and just put women in a box and stuff like that. It's the same with zodiac signs. Zodiac signs tells us characteristics, but it's not to just keep people in a box, because it's more to people besides their sun sign, besides their rising and their moon. And so, hopefully I conveyed that in a way that, people will not get offended. But sometimes it is, harder for the women to take accountability, because sometimes we get stuck on things like, he cheated on me. And it's not justifying his behavior. It's not rendering him innocent. There's no justification here. I'm telling you, yes, that motherfucker is wrong, but the cards are also saying that, you got some things that you need to look at as well. We can't just focus on the cheating and stuff only. We can't just focus on one side only. We have to be balanced and we have to play both sides. It's the same with divination. Divination is not always sunshines and rainbows and saying, oh, you did everything right, God is going to bless you with somebody else. No, sometimes there are lessons that need to be learned. And so, sometimes, people take readings better when it's saying that like a male is wrong, and people accept those better, and it's like, yep, niggas gonna be niggas is gonna cheat. It's not received the same way when it's seen sometimes that it's a female that needs some adjustment and that needs some changing. Sometimes it's like, oh nigga, you off. Nah, it was that nigga. Well, sometimes it's not always the nigga. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the outcome. The outcome is saying that the Empress now is going to end up fighting and competing. And you have the clarifiers as the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is saying the same thing, that there's going to be some fights, that there's going to be a fight to take responsibility now, with the Ten of Wands being the second clarifier. And so when you look at how these are divinely connected, because the outcome position and the crossing energy is divinely connected because they're horizontal from each other, in both of these positions, a female energy and presence is here in both of these positions, both in the crossing energy as well as the outcome position. And so in this reading, I would have to say that Spirit is working with a female and not necessarily a male. There's a female at play here that Spirit is working with in order to change you a little bit. The Ace of Swords is saying that a download is getting ready to come to you, and the outcome position is saying once this download come, that there's going to be a shift in perspective and everything, and that you're going to be the one that's going to end up going back to the other person. The card at the bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles is a shifting of energy. It's saying that energy is getting ready to be shift, and there's going to be a change in this situation. Let's get I guess we can start with the hidden emotions. I'm going to try to speed this up. We're already at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Ooh, I don't know how well this reading going to be received. Sometimes for me it is easier, especially when it's correction. Sometimes it's easier for me talking to a male with correction, because talking to a male, I'd be like, nigga, nigga, like, you did some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? Like with the guys, I can always be as direct as I want to be and everything else. With women, it's a softer approach. Normally it's a softer approach. All right, we got hoping and distance. Somebody is hoping that this connection come back together, but there's a distance in between these two people. And so we have hoping and distance as the hidden emotion for the overall energy. So these are two people that could be in two different cities, could be in two different states. These are two people that are not easily accessible to one another. There's some distance in between the two of you. What is you have in the crossing energy, you have lusting and beginnings. Somebody is lusting over you and they want a new beginning. So we have that here. And in this category, we already have the Queen of Wands, which represents sexual energy, and we have the Fool card, which represents a new beginning. And so even the hidden emotions is in alignment with what this reading is saying. And so someone is lusting, someone is wanting a new beginning. We have in the crowning energy, we have shallow. This is someone that's very empty. And you're empty because this is the position where magic was present, with the Seven of Swords talking about imprisonment. And then the magician card, which is talking about magic being done. And then we have in the outcome position, what is the outcome? We have the outcome position. We have someone that is broken. This is someone that is brokenhearted. You have the card at the bottom of the deck. You have foundation. And so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles, and now we have foundation. This is shifting to a healthier foundation. Let's see what the Oracle cards is going to say. Now, another thing that this could be as well, with the Queen of Swords being here and the Empress, this could talk about a lesbian relationship. It could talk about the relationship between two women. But once again, reverse the energy as you need to see fit. The Queen of Wands can be seen as the King of Wands, and the Empress can be seen as the Emperor. What is the overall energy for the what is the overall energy? What is called for the overall energy? That's what I'm meaning to say. Too many cards. I don't want a book. Make it simple, Spirit. Make it simple. Make it simple. All right, we got two. We got cock blocking and hunted as the oracle cards. Somebody is cock blocking. But no, we have the Temperance card in the overall energy. And the Temperance card is it's similar to the Two of Pentacles that is at the bottom of the deck. That is saying that be patient, because there's a shifting of energy that is happening in the background that you don't see. And there's someone that is being changed on an emotional level. I know I speak with my hands. I'm sorry. There's someone I got to do it in order for me to get in, in order for me to connect. So don't fuck with me. I'm just being myself. This is how you know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with me. So there's a shifting of energy here with the Temperance card, that there's a shifting of energy with the Cups. And Spirit is saying that this change is happening on an emotional level, and that it's telling you to be patient. The Devil card is here and is saying that you two are chained and bound, that both of you have strong lust and passion for one another. The Hidden Emotion is saying that there's hope here, that someone is hoping and praying and manifesting that this distance will be closed, that you guys will come together and not be so far apart. And now with the Oracle card, where you have cock blocking and you have hunted, this is somebody in this connection could be trying to move on and meet new people and having sex and stuff like that. And Spirit is saying access denied. Spirit is one of you in this connection. Like, you are trying to have an outlet to have sex, and you're not having sex, baby. Like, it's keep being cock blocked. Every time when you try to meet up with somebody and get your pussy, slammed, or get your dick sucked, it's like something is keep happening where that door is closing, that you could be, getting in the shower, freshening up, ready to get fucked and pounded. And, the moment that this person arrived, they're sending you a text message saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got a flat tire. Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. Some came up with the family and I got to go pick up my sister from work. And, you're somebody, your access is keep being denied, is keep being cock blocked, and you're being hunted by the obsessions and everything that you have for the other person. This overall energy is somebody in this connection you're being forced to sit down. You're being forced to sit down. That's what's happening in the background with the angel with the temperance card being here. Someone is being forced to sit the fuck down. This angel said, baby, I'm here to stop and close every motherfucking door outside of this person. Someone is being forced to sit the fuck down. What is the oracle card for the what is the oracle card for the crossing issue? So the crossing is saying there's legal issues at play, and someone is in their ego is hurt. So this is ego is hurt through a legal issue. And so this could be someone that maybe you went through a divorce or something, and once again the person the one in the card is a female. No, keep in mind it you know divine masculine and divine feminine, it has nothing to do with gender. 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 But there's a female there's a female that is learning a lesson. It's and I don't want to even say this in the wrong way. Please excuse me. I'm not trying to say anything offensive. I'm not trying to say anything offensive. You know, if this is like if this is a straight relationship, this is a woman that is learning a lesson. If this is a lesbian relationship, I don't think it's the stud. I think it's the other one. I don't know what they're called. That is the pretty girl, I guess you could say. I don't know. And if it's a gay relationship, I don't think that it's the top. I think that it's the bottom. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody is learning a lesson, and you could have went through a legal situation with somebody, and it it, it's a lot of things is just keeping present. It's keep highlighting female. It's keep highlighting fire and water energy. But this could have been this could have been a marriage where somebody is going through a divorce, where maybe the female thought that she was going to get like the house, and thought she was going to get the car, and thought she was going to get like everything, but that's not how it worked out. That you went through some type of legal issue, whether it was, calling the cops, that, it could have been the female that called the cops, but yet they locked up the female and took the female away. Somebody learned a lesson through the legal system. It's through the legal system a lesson was learned, and it bruised your ego. It completely, and this was meant in order to bring you back down to earth and to teach you a lesson, where this is someone that maybe every time you got mad you would always call the cops, and this time the cops took you. They didn't take the other person. This is someone that you could have went through a divorce, and you thought that you were going to get everything from this person, but the legal system was like, nope, they don't have to sell their house. They don't have to give you all of this that you're asking for. Someone learned a valuable lesson through the legal system. The legal system taught somebody a valuable lesson, and it brought you back down to earth. It brought you back down to earth. What is damn? Because this is somebody you're trying to have sex, and that door is being blocked. You're being hunted by the past of the person you left. You went through legal issues, and you lost whatever legal thing you were going through. And now you have, moving on, thank you next. This is an energy where, this person could have completely moved on. You know, this person that you could have divorced, this person that you left, you thought that this person was going to chase you, and you thought that this person was going to rush back in your life and, and fight for you. But this person completely moved on. They were like, hey, you said you wanted a divorce, I'm moving. And this is the thing that's making you feel shallow and empty. And this is the thing that's keeping you in this state of imprisonment. Ooh. What is the outcome position? What is the outcome position? But if this is someone, because you said this is someone that's going through, this is a female that's going through karma. This is a female that is going through karma. Now, since everything is on the board, this is a female that's going through karma. I mean, you're being cock blocked, you're being hunted by the past, which is the hunted card and the devil. You're obsessed with someone from the past, and you're hoping that this distance is going to come together, that it's going to, stop being so far apart. You went through a legal issue and you lost the legal issue. You're lusting over this person and wanting a new beginning. Mental clarity is coming in. A new beginning is going to start. You're imprisoned in your mind right now. You're shallow and empty. You notice that the person moved on. And now the outcome position is saying that you're going to fight for this person, and that you're going to have to take accountability and responsibility with the Ten of Wands, and that you're broken emotionally. So you have girl fight for the outcome position. Once again, it talks about, fighting everything. You have three now. You have the Five of Wands, you have the Five of Swords, and now you have girl fight. This is, and see, once again, is keep picking up girl, female. There's a female. There's a female, there's the pretty girl in the lesbian situation, is the bottom in the gay situation. I don't know. That energy of the female archetype of whatever it is and whatever connection, that female archetype is the one that's going to come back and fight for this person. They are going to fight for the other person. They are being called to fight for the other person. And I'm not saying, that's what I'm saying, I'm not trying to offend nobody. I'm not trying to get in the comments and people like, oh, so you saying a bottom is a female, you're saying the bottom is the female in a relationship. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying my best to try to convey what it is that spirit is saying. The female in the relationship is the one that is being called to go back and fight. And if you think that the other person is not going to accept you, because, we got some tantrums up in here. Like I said, fire and water is tantrums. When you get mad, you can go into tantrums, and you can go to tantrums where you black out, that you don't see the damage that you have done into days later, into years later, that you look back and you like, damn, I did set that house on fire. I did put sugar in his tank and then the engine blew up. It's like, oh, I did call his job and get him fired. This is someone that is, this is someone that will definitely go through some tantrums and do some crazy ass shit. But it's a lesson that you learned. If you think that this person is completely over you and that they're not going to accept you, you're wrong. In the Odu, when the cowrie shells was tossed, you have 9 open and you have 7 that was closed. With the 9 that are open, it's letting you know this is less, it's more likely that the door is more open than what it is closed. And so if it was reversed, where it would have been 9 closed, oh, that's a hell no. You ain't going back. It's too many closed. It's more closed. But with there being more open than it is closed, there's a possibility of reconciliation. You know, whether you think that the person don't like you no more or whatever, there is a strong possibility of reconciliation. You have the card at the bottom of the deck. You have looking you up. This is someone that's stalking you. This is someone that's looking you up. Take what resonates. I'm everywhere in this reading. Take what resonates, y'all. You gotta just take what resonates. I mean, it's easier talking about the nigga. I can admit that. It's easier talking about the nigga and going in on the nigga because, ooh, sometimes I like to stay away from the females, y'all. Cause sometimes ooh. So you telling me a motherfucker can do this, and you telling me I'm not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is what's in the cards. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It's easier talking about the nigga. I, I'm just I'm just saying it's easier talking about the nigga than it is talking about the female. Because the female, jeez, be with us. Be with us. That's all I can say is be with us. Lord, be my strength and my shield and my fortress. Oof. I'm out, y'all. This is a lot, and then we are getting ready to go to 2 hours. This is the longest video I have done in a long time, and so I'm out.